Hello, I'm Dr. Katie Jenner, Indiana Secretary of Education. I have to tell you that I really enjoy my job. I was a high school teacher, and now I get to support all of the teachers in schools in Indiana to ultimately support you, our students. I am so excited to join you today to celebrate President Benjamin Harrison's birthday. August 20th is actually my birthday too, and I'm so glad to spend it with you, our Indiana students. Did you know that President Harrison is America's 23rd President of the United States and the only president from Indiana? He served a long time ago, from 1889 to 1893. As president, Benjamin Harrison lived in Washington, D.C. at the White House, but when he was not there, he lived in Indianapolis with his family. You can see that it's a very big house with lots of really old furniture and paintings, and people can still come to visit his house today. On President Harrison's birthday, I wanted to share a funny story with you, which is written in this book, Old Whiskers Escapes. Old Whiskers was a pet goat that President Harrison gave to his grandson, Baby McKee. Normally, Baby McKee would take rides on the goat each day, but one morning, things got a little out of hand. Let's read this book to find out what happened. Old Whiskers stood ready at his cart. Baby McKee tugged on the reins. Green grass, warm breeze. The sun was high in the sky. It was time to play. Every day, Grandpa marched out on the lawn just in time to hear Baby McKee say, "Giddy up." But today, Grandpa was nowhere in sight. Where was Grandpa? Maybe he was still in his big office, where people called him President Benjamin Harrison. He had a job to do. He signed important papers, brought electric lights to the White House, and worked for fairness for all people. Or maybe he had traveled back home to the golden fields, the big red barns, and the bubbling brooks of Indiana. Maybe he was there right now. Old Whiskers wanted to find Grandpa. He looked in the stables. No Grandpa. Then he saw an opening in the gate and bolted through. Picking up the pace, Old Whiskers raced down the street with the wagon bouncing behind him. The cart creaked and the wheels whacked. Baby McKee's giggles turned to squeals. But as fast as Old Whiskers ran, as hard as he huffed, there were no golden fields, no red barns, no bubbling brooks, only a bumpy brown road and a great big hole. Old Whiskers dug in his heels, but he kept on sliding. The cart kept moving, and Baby McKee started crying, "Whoa!" Thump, 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 thump. Grandpa arrived in the nick of time. "Stop, you stubborn old goat!" Baby McKee grabbed his long beard and held on, yelling, "Giddy up!" Old Whiskers hung his head. He was in trouble. But Grandpa leaned over and said gently, "Next time, wait for me, both of you." The president picked up his hat with a pat and led Old Whiskers back to the White House. "Quite a ride, little one," he said with a laugh that echoed all the way down Pennsylvania Avenue. The end. Or is it? Wow, what a story. Did you know that after Old Whiskers' great escape, he got his wish and traveled back home to Indiana? Now, before we wrap up today, let's play a short game of trivia to learn more about Indiana's only Hoosier president. Question number 1. Did you know that, like Baby McKee from the story, Benjamin Harrison had a grandfather who was a president too? What was his name? Is it A, William Henry Harrison, B, Thomas Jefferson, or C, Alexander Hamilton? If you chose A, you are absolutely right. William Henry Harrison, the 9th president of the United States, was the grandfather of our Hoosier president, Benjamin Harrison. Question number 2. What was President Harrison's job in Indianapolis before he became president of the United States? Was it A, a doctor, B, a lawyer, or C, a teacher? If you guessed B, a lawyer, you're exactly right. Benjamin Harrison was a very influential lawyer and helped protect other people from men and women who made bad choices. Question number 3. When President Benjamin Harrison was in the White House in the late 1800s, he didn't have a computer, a TV, a cell phone, or video games. But he was the very first president to make what? A YouTube video, B, a recording of his voice, or C, a short movie? If you guessed B, you are absolutely correct. Benjamin Harrison was the first president known to have his voice recorded. A special machine called a wax phonograph cylinder captured 36 seconds of the president speaking.
As President of the United States, I was present at the first Pan-American Congress in Washington, D.C. Benjamin Harrison.
Wow, that recording is over 130 years old. Question number 4. What technology did President Harrison bring to the White House? Is it A, a dishwashing machine, B, running water, or C, electricity? If you guessed C, you're absolutely correct. President Harrison brought electricity to the White House. Fun fact, he was too nervous to turn the lights on for the first time, so he demanded one of his staff members to do it. I tell you what, I really enjoyed learning something new with you today through reading. Reading is so much fun, and I challenge each of you to try to read for at least 30 minutes each day. And now that you know so many new facts about President Benjamin Harrison, you'll have to wow your family and friends, especially those here in Indiana.